So you pump it. All the bolts for the LS are in this little box. I'm gonna go drop them off to get zinced right now, and we should have them back in a couple of days. It's not many bolts, but I'll let you guys know how much something like this runs. This is my first time doing any of this, so I'm also curious. I want to know how much this is gonna cost. Put in a little mono box, so we'll see how that goes. All right, and we made it.
Several months later.
So a little update on the B series here. We pretty much got everything pretty cleaned up. As you can tell, it's been sitting for a while, and normally once aluminum's pretty clean, it creates like this, I don't know what you would call it, but it's like some sort of white residue, but it honestly just comes off. But I'm gonna show you guys how to prevent that after you clean your aluminum pretty well. Like the block has it here too. You see that? This stuff. We're pretty much gonna grab WD-40 on like a super fine steel wool and just rub the whole block, and it'll give it like a cool little sheen, and it'll burn off once the aluminum gets hot again. But there's the progress on the engine so far. Everything's super clean. It's been sitting for a while. I'm honestly just waiting for the bolts to come back from zinc, but I'm gonna show you guys how we went about cleaning this. We're using this little pump here with hot water, LA Awesome, in one of these spray bottles. So you spray the solution on, get a little brush. It's pretty boring, so I didn't want to film all this, but we pretty much cleaned the rest of the parts already. And yeah, you just repeat this process here. The real special stuff is this hot water. You want to get hot water on here, and as you can see, look at that, takes all this stuff away. This pump's pretty cool. You can buy one of these pumps at Harbor Freight, fill it up with hot water, pump it, that way it'll make a complete mess in your driveway. So you pump it. Sorry guys, you guys fell. But as you can see, it's pretty strong for what it is. And you just continue this all the way across. You're probably wondering why you clean the inside. Why the fuck not? It's already here. So pretty much the hot water is the little trick here for the aluminum. It somehow makes this grease just come right off. Pretty easy. You can see, pretty simple. You see how fast that cleans up, and it's honestly just a plastic brush, LA Awesome, not using crazy stuff, water, get you some gloves. But yeah, that's how we clean it.
We're so much more, but thank you. Want to win? Sell with Redfin. It's real estate done right.
Learn more at redfin.com. See you.
All right, so we took the clutch and flywheel off only because I want to clean this portion of the block. I know, weird, but if I'm already cleaning the rest of the block, I want to clean all of it. So I removed that. I'm probably going to put it on a engine stand for now. I also managed to pick up a first gen Skunk 2 like ITR style for the LS V20s. So it's pretty cool because it doesn't have that big old Skunk 2 plaque. So I'm hyped on that. I also managed to get a Skunk 270mm throttle body for it, so that'll pair up pretty nice. Got that front cleaned up. Oh yeah, also painted the valve cover. Transmission's looking fresh now. But yeah, slow progress but good progress. I'm in no rush to get this engine into my car, so I'm kind of just working on it whenever I can and whatnot. So with this swap, I got pretty lucky, and it turns out this tranny is a GSR trans, and that's the trans I actually wanted for this setup, because V1 is just gonna be the LS cleaned up with fresh hardware, like real OE like swap in the car. But honestly, I only bought this swap because I've always wanted a turbo LS, so that's mainly what it's gonna be. So this transmission works out perfect for that. So over the years, of course, this engine bay has been pretty beat up. Previous owner I bought the car from years ago, probably like 6 years ago, painted the engine bay. So the engine bay is painted. But for me owning the car and riding it pretty low, previous camber kit swaps, I banged up my shock tires pretty bad. But I managed to get... So I managed to get these bad boys. Shout out to my boy Henry. He gave me these probably like 2 or 3 years ago. And I just always kept them because I know I was gonna do this one day and eventually do my engine bay again. So with that being said, as you can see, my shock tires are pretty beat up. This is from previous camber kits. It cut this bad boy up. I ride pretty low, I know that, but that's not gonna change, man. I like my cars low, and that's just the way they are. So put these bad boys in here. This one's not as bad as the driver's side one, but as you can see where they go. And that should fix that issue and allow me to maybe go even a little bit lower. But I like my current ride height so as is, but that'll help. That'll just help the bay look better. All right. So we got the engine on this engine stand. I mocked up the throttle body and I mocked up the intake manifold. I think I'm gonna have to get this bad boy port matched because it's a 70mm, and as you can see, it's kind of not matched there. But yeah, everything's looking good so far. I'll probably get a different catch can to run those lines off the back of it, but I'm pretty happy with the way it's turning out. Super simple setup, nothing crazy, you know, nothing that's never been done before, but it should be fun. I want cheap power. I'm not in this engine or this whole setup a whole lot. I'm gonna order ARP head studs and probably a new head gasket just to be safe when we go turbo, but as of now it's just gonna run off a stock ECU, and I mean, it'll make more power than my single cam does, so it'll be cool. We also cleaned up the intake manifold and throttle body using the same method we used on the block. But as you can see, it's clean, but I honestly think it could be cleaner, so I might look into getting this vapor honed to get just a really super clean finish. I want it to look like this, the head, you know, but or paint it possibly, but I'm not really trying to paint this thing, to be honest. So I'll probably look for someone that could vapor hone both these parts for me, and I think I'll be pretty happy with it. But as of now, it's Like I mentioned before, just waiting on the bolts to get back so we can tidy it up and should be ready to go into the car. But that's what it looks like so far. Super clean.